What's up? I'm just trying to like figure out this mic thing real quick too. And if anybody is joining in and you guys have anything on your mind or you want to talk about anything, we'll talk about it. I'm just gonna be adjusting this real quick. And like I said, anybody's in, you guys want to talk about anything, we can chop it up. I have to find out how this is like. Here we go. And like I said, anybody's in, you guys want to talk about anything, we can chop it up. Sounds good. I have to find out how this is like. If I laugh, I want to see that. And like I said, anybody's in, you guys want to talk about anything, we can chop it up. Sounds good. I have to find out how this is like. If I laugh, see, it broke right there. It was cracking. See? And like I said, anybody's in, you guys want to talk about anything? All right. Chop it up. What if I turn it down like that? Does that make it any difference? I'm gonna go from right here. Let me see. From right here. If I laugh, see, it broke right there. It was cracking. See? And like I said, anybody's in. It's like doing a third from a, like, what if I turn it down like that? Does that make it any difference? I'm gonna go from right here. Let me see. Come up on it like this. If I laugh, like la la la, like loud. See, it broke right there. It was cracking. See? And like I said, anybody's in. It's like doing a third from a, like, what if I turn it down like that? Does that make it any difference? I'm gonna go from right here. Let me see. Come up on it like this. If I laugh, like la la la, like loud. See, it broke right there. It was cracking. See? And like I said, anybody's in. It's like doing a third from a, like, what if it's crazy. All right, I guess. All right, whatever. Make it any difference? I'm gonna go from right here. Let me see. Come up. What's up, guys? You guys got anything on your mind? Anything you guys want to talk? Let me know. Type it in. Hold up. Where's my little message thing there? Thingamajig. Little message box thingamajig. There it is. There it is. What's up, Jesus? We just like really like wanting like to know how this shit was just before this Francis Ngannou fight because come Friday, Francis Ngannou's gonna be fighting, and then in the UFC on Saturday, there's gonna have some big fights too as well. There's gonna be a couple of boxing cards coming up, so I want to see both of the events. There's going to be a couple fights that are going to fill in the void until we get this main attraction right here, which I can't wait for that fight. That's the fight that I'm mostly looking forward to. Um, yeah. So, like, the Ryan Garcia fight, though, every day it seems to be taking a different toe, right? Uh, I'm not sure if you've been following their antics or anything either, but somehow AB gets into all of this. And I guess I don't know. I don't know. I guess some people are really buying into the fact that AB can be a worthy adversary, being that the fact that he's not that old. Like I think that that's what they're trying to like focus on. Like, oh yeah, he's actually only 34 years old. Well, you're 34 years old, but you've been out of the game for quite some time. I'm impressed he's still signed to Don King promotion, but hey, it is what it is, you know. Uh I think look, the bottom line with the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight is this, that if they actually make it into the ring or the fight's actually scheduled, I wouldn't actually put any money on it, right? But let's just say that, Ryan Garcia and him into the ring on based off all the information that you have to present day, right? Okay. 6 weeks leading out into the fight, he was signing a new contract to be disciplined to go train 6 days a week. All right. So if upping the ante is going training 6 days a week, how many days were you training prior to that? And how much were you in shape? So, from the information that I'm getting from him, 6 weeks leading out into the fight is when you decided to take it serious. That's when you're gonna. 6 weeks is not gonna beat Devin Haney. 6 weeks is not gonna beat that kind of champion. Absolutely not. So I would never sit here and tell you guys, yo, put your money on Ryan Garcia. I would say enjoy the fight. I would support boxing. I would also support Devin Haney. You know, um, listen, this is what these guys wanted. This is what he called for. This is what the public wanted. And when he finally gets his opportunity and he gets there, this is how Ryan Garcia acts. I mean, he's trying to do everything else but fight. He's trying to save the world, these kids, pull the curtain on Hollywood. Look, uh, everybody knows there's hundreds of movie stars that this shit happens, my man. But it's a crazy situation to be in, right? If you think about it, right? Brian Garcia, let's just say that everything he's saying is true. Let's just say everything he saw was true. Everything he's saying is true. You, as a person, as an individual, if you were in his shoes, what would you do? What would you do? Would you forget about what you saw for now and concentrate on the fight? Then after the fight, try to do exactly that because you still have a major platform. It's not like your platform's going to go away after the fight. You can still do that, right? And concentrate on the fight, right? Or do you risk everything and say, fuck it, fake expose them, halfway word it, talking riddles, cause major distractions and concerns on your family leading into the fight? Because according to everybody, he's just trolling, right? Okay. And the 5 o'clock shadows, the wine, the smoking the weed, all that shit's like secondary, right? Now I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys, okay? I know athletes and I know guys that have smoked weed, drank liquor, and have partied pretty hard. And went into the gym, trained, and won the fight, right? The difference between Ryan and some of those other guys, right? Although they were living that kind of lifestyle in the gym, they didn't mess around. They were training, they were actually training. So, they were at a such, they still kept their, it wasn't like they were smoking a carton of cigarettes and a pound of weed and they were out, they would smoke their blunt, drink a couple shots on these couple days and then take it serious the rest of the week. And I've seen guys like that, you know. Um but not everybody can do that, you see. And then when guys do that, they end up catching a loss like Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias was living that kind of life exactly leading into his loss. Because he lost to that guy is where he probably said to himself, you know what? I'm gonna really knock everything off. He was probably a great athlete and in shape, but he wasn't like 100%. He'd go get his little bit of weed, a little bit of blunts. And I'm not saying that the man was out there smoking 30 blunts a day or anything, but he would just blaze and have his little shot. But when he lost, that's when, because a lot of fighters, when you're young and fighting and stuff, they still feel so invincible that they think they can do some of these things still. I can smoke a little bit of bud, it's not like cigarettes, and I could drink and I could piss that out in a day and I'm good. And I've seen that. I've seen it, you know? So that's not what's not gonna, you know, look, I always look at it like this now as I'm older, right? If you're that good with smoking weed and drinking, imagine how good you would be without it. That's how I feel now. See, back then when I was young, like I said, I felt young, invincible. I felt like I could maintain it. I never felt like I slipped in the gym. I never felt like, so when I knew other guys that were like that, and I knew people, look at Keyshawn Davis is, there's a lot that do it. But at some point in their careers, they really realize, wait a minute, I did all this shit, like this. What if I get serious and I dedicate 100% of myself to it? Then bam, So, yeah, yeah. So, that's the information I got from Ryan. And that's straight from the horse's mouth. I'm watching Ryan sit down with the guy and make out a new contract. I've seen that before. Didn't he write down a new contract when he was with um Saul Canelo Alvarez, his trainer, Eddie, right? Didn't he leave him and go with the other guy, his like original coach? And after he lost, that coach didn't even show his face in the ring. He said that Ryan would come to the gym 3 days a week, only the days to spar, and he would train himself at the house. That Ryan has a superior boxing IQ and he knew what he wanted, right? He signed another contract with that dude. Now he doing one with who? This is just a pattern with Ryan. What Canelo coach and them, you got to remember what they said about him, and he was saying they lying, they hating on me, they doing all this shit, right? Yo, there had to be some truth behind that. He goes to the next coach, he's not with him neither. Now he goes with Derek James. Then he's hugging it up with Mayweather, getting on videos, putting his nose in business you really don't need to be in. And for everybody, you see, I wasn't even going in on this video, right? I was just really wanting to test this mic and shit, right? So I just started just wanting to talk. I guess shit that's probably been on my mind too, right? So like for people that been going in over this Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis sparring video, okay? I want you to know something about those videos. You know, they'll keep putting them up and keep the argument going for that. All you guys might have something to talk about, right? But that sparring video, although I've only seen bits and pieces, I never have to watch it to tell you exactly 100% what's going on there. That sparring video is bullshit. 100% bullshit, and it counts for nothing. Absolutely zero. Yeah, not in the boxing world. The only people that argue those kind of videos and those points are like argumentative fans. Real purists know that boxing and sparring is sacred. When you spar, you're practicing on things. You can have all the rage and anger you want, but we all know you can't emulate fight night in sparring. For one, you got 12-ounce gloves on with headgear, right? And the rules are different, okay? You're never supposed to show a sparring video to anyone. I'll never invite you back to my gym. When we spar, we work on things. How are you supposed to tell me about a sparring video and tell me, what do you think? That's exactly how the fight would play out? That sparring video counts for nothing. It means nothing. Did you have them slugging it out for what? Until one man quit? So how long were they fighting? 40 minutes? 50 minutes? Well, how long they were fighting for? What does that count for? Right? When you fight in the lower weight divisions, you have 8-ounce gloves on. Over 154, 10-ounce gloves. Right? The gloves are smaller and bigger for a reason. Right? You mean to tell me we sparring with 12-ounce gloves? They look like fucking balloons. Your defense can be much tighter. All you got to go is like this. You're blocking shots. Bro, none of that counts. Why do you equipment on? Thank you, brother. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Why do you think we got equipment on? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You don't do that, bro. And anybody that entertains that about going back and forth, he did this and sparring, Tank did this, bro. Y'all sound, man, listen. Y'all sound like assholes because sparring is sacred. That's where we work on shit. That's how we steel sharpens steel. And you're gonna go take our fucking old sparring footages and kind of what? How you know that? Man, there was so many different factors. It means nothing. It means nothing, bro. It means nothing. You know? But it'll keep people entertained and talking in the conversation. Look what he did. Look what he did. Who gives a fuck? That's a sparring. Yo, as a matter of fact, that's not even amateur boxing. That's lower. And that's supposed to mean something? Come on, man. But that's how the boxing world is. And you know, sometimes you just gotta be careful because that's how they boost up another fighter. And they'll have you blind or second guessing your fighter when you know what you're seeing with your eyes. Just like they try to do to him. Remember when they were calling him a hype job? Remember when they were saying the hand wraps and Floyd made accusation about steroids and oh, once he beat and shut everyone up, it was always another thing, wasn't it? You know, they saw that it wasn't the hand wraps, Stephen Kubo Fulton, you know, he was right there. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Now, wrap that one around that one. Now, double. No. Don't do the. That's good. Okay. He was right there. You better believe it. When he proved to the world, bro, this is me. This is me. And undeniably, from an eye test, it wasn't nothing like where you know, you were saying to yourself, yo, the Japanese dude is wild. He's mad wild, but he's winning, right? So you can question that style. Like like Lopez, right? Every time you see Luis Alberto Lopez fight, right? You question his style. If it nah, the next dude is gonna knock him out. And then he keeps winning, and you're like, okay, well, wait, the next guy's gonna knock him out, right? Because you're questioning his style. When you see him, you don't question his style. When you're watching him, you're like, yeah, that's how you're supposed to fight. You know? So when your eyes are not lying to you, but what they're saying is not matching up, you know, don't like look, if you're fucking looking at it, right, and it's a duck, man, and the guy says, I'll sell you a cow. Bro, that's not a cow. Don't let him talk you into selling you a cow, bro. Go with what you're looking at. He was the real deal. He was the real deal. So all he had to do is prove it and given the opportunities. And I always said it like once he started fucking with Top Rank, Bob Arum, Bob Arum really opened up doors for that dude. Without Bob Arum, I don't think he gets all these title fights. I gotta be honest with you. For as much shit that people talk, because let me keep it funky, right? The PBC will talk shit about Top Rank. The Zone will talk shit about, but you notice a pattern? They'll talk shit about them and they'll talk shit about them. And these guys, everybody does corrupt shit in the sport. Where in a sport, so much money is thrown around underneath the table. A lot of, there used to be a lot of bets that were cash bets. A lot of manila envelopes in the back rooms. They're constantly sliding by. And even though things are more like the internet and they got these websites and shit, there's still a lot of cash hand to hand. Okay. So, boxing, it's the wild wild west. It's a sport where you can say things, make up your own narrative, feed your fighter to the crowd, and perceive him to be a certain kind of champion when in reality they're really not that type of champion. And they can do that in this sport because of the loopholes. Because technically they're not lying, but they are. You know, when you get an interim world title, it's a piece of a world championship. It's just not the real world championship. But they don't really have to tell you that. What's the last word on it? Champion. All right. Just call him a champion. So that helps promoting the fight. And I get it. I get it. Because look, let's keep it funky. Let's keep it funky. For as much as corrupt shit you see sometimes or money making shit, how about the events that put money into these fighters' pockets and change these fighters' lives? How about the smile that fighter was able to put on his mother's face when he bought her first house? How about that time, the first Christmas that him, his kids, and his wife were able to enjoy because boxing was able to provide that for them? What about those moments? What about the moments, these things, look, in every sport, hey, everybody wants to get paid. I get it, but I don't let that turn me off from the fact that I really truly want to see great fights, you know? And since this explosion it started in 2023, I believe due in fact to the part that the UFC was making a lot of noise. Boxing was starting to take a dip, and these major sanctioning bodies started to see that it was profitable to put their champions to fight other champion. There was a big explosion. Somebody had to win, you know. Um, and I like it. I like it. It's exciting. I like to see the champion with all four belts on them. It makes them look that much more of a champion. No matter what fighters say about it, you've even heard fighters, the same fighter, talk shit about a belt, and then later on in their career, say that's all that matters. Case in point, Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko vacated the WBC world title to young 19-year-old Devin Haney. Said, I don't give a fuck about that belt. I'll take it and make it a franchise. I'm going to go fight Tio for the WBO. Right? Said, I don't care. Belts don't, I know I'm the champion, right? Leading into the Devin Haney fight, what was his tune? He said, all I've ever wanted to be in my life was to have all four belts. That's my dream. That's my goal. That's all I want. Wow, your tune changed, Loma. Come on, man. We all know what the end goal is for you to have all the gold. To have all the gold. Let's keep it funky. And the IBO is coming. So pretty soon, like maybe 2025, 2026. I don't know. Because let's keep in mind what makes these belts prestigious are the men and women that held them, right? Okay. So if you real quick breakdown, these three were the top dogs. This one, the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF were the top dogs for like forever, right? And they were recognized as world champions, right? But the WBO was not. And there were a lot of great WBO champions. The WBO belt actually was around for like Jesus 15 years or something, or maybe more, or a little less, I don't know, before it got its recognition. I do remember great champions. Marvelous Hagler had it. You know, the Klitschko's had it. Um, there was I mean, there was just so many. I think Larry Holmes made it the most popular, right? There were a lot of people that had it, but once it became recognized by all major sanctioning bodies and everybody agreed that it got its notoriety, was the fight against Oscar De La Hoya and Bernal Hopkins in Madison Square Garden, when they went to fight all four belts. The winner of that, which was Bernard, right? He had all four belts, and it gave WBO that night its credibility. And everybody kind of, I guess, they did their ritual behind the scenes. They had to kill who they had to kill to get in. Right? And they got in. So that's why they're recognized. Okay. So there have been many fighters now that have held the IBO, like one of the most, maybe Stephen Kubo Fulton. Stevie Kubo Fulton had the IBO. Okay. And it's making some noise, some headways. Anthony Joshua had it. There's a few boxers that has had the IBO title. Who just fought the other night? Oh, didn't Demetrius Bivol beat the IBO champion? Wasn't that guy the IBO champion? Right? I believe that was the last fighter I saw fight for an IBO title. But anyway, maybe there'll be a five belt era, you know. But the IBO's got to do something with that front piece. They're gonna have to hook that up. You know what I mean? Because these guys got they stuff going on. They're gonna have to change that if they wanna come to the table. The IBO is gonna have to kill some people to get in. Hey, you gotta spill some blood, bro. Nah, but listen, hey, what's up? All right, what up, my man? Big O, what up, baby? Listen, um, I said that the other night, and I said to myself, Matias would be a good replacement for Ryan Garcia to fight against Devin Haney. Depending how Matias, he would have to be honest with himself. Has he really been in the gym? 2 months out. And if he was in the gym, like really working on his shit, already like anticipating on fighting somebody else, and the fight makers see that this Ryan shit, and they start to question if it'll even be good to put the fight on. You can let Ryan get his shit together and fight the winner out of Eastside Pitbull and Rolly. You know, just make up some shit right now and say Ryan can't get that fight. Give him the winner out of them two, and then slide Matias in to fight Devin Haney in New York City, bro. That would fucking blow up. That will blow up. Subriel in New York. Oh my God. I know Subriel wants to fight in Puerto Rico. And I know he's training and preparation. So that's why I was saying he might have just been in the gym all this time. because Subriel is excited because he want this. Ed Hearns told him, "I'm gonna give you a fight in PR." And look, Amanda Serrano didn't even get a chance to fight because of that freak accident that happened. So Puerto Rico didn't really get their fight. So I get it. Maybe Devin Haney will say fuck New York and go to PR. There might be more money there. There's a lot of money in New York though, bro. I'm not sure if they could. I mean, it's easy to fly out to PR. Same people who be in New York that got money will be in PR with money. It's like a fucking taxi ride to keep it 100. Same hotel price. They might get a better deal in PR. Come to think about it. I if you want to keep it funky. So that would be a fucking major announcement, bro. The boxing world would flip on an axis right now. Yeah. You was to pull Ryan out and slide Matias in there. Ooh, boy, I tell you. I I'll fucking move to New York tomorrow. I'll bench a tent outside. Yo, I'm buying a ticket. You know what I mean? Yo, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. I remember when I went to Madison Square Garden to see Felix Trinidad and the Bernal Harbor. I was there. I was in attendance for that fight. So it was a sad day, man. Oh, hey yo, and if you guys don't really remember, I mean, it's a bad thing. But what happened was that fight was actually scheduled not on that date. It got pushed back because of 9/11. And in fact, when we went to go buy the tickets for that fight, right? Um the next day was 9/11. Yeah, we came back like that night. We in the highway and shit. I remember I fell asleep behind Bob. We was driving back. We got back in, and then my man hit me up and was like, "Yo, put on the TV." And I remember I had like a plate in front of me, and I was watching the TV, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. The plane was going. Yo, I was in shock. But it it I was fucked up because I was like looking at it and I was like, what does that mean? I was like, wow, did the pilot just fall asleep behind the steering wheel or something? Like, I was like, but okay, it flew into the building. And then I'm just like sitting back, but I couldn't hear it. I remember I couldn't hear it. I had it like mad low. So I'm sitting there like this. And I was like, let me adjust that fucking volume. And I sat up and I was like, doo doo. And I looked up and the second plane started. It came out of nowhere. It was like, and I was like, and yo, my mind just cracked. It went, I was like, we're under attack. Yo, like everything in my head, when I was just like, and so that ugly situation took place, and then like a few days later we realized, yo, what about the Felix Trinidad fight in Madison Square Garden? We just paid hundreds of dollars for these tickets. Like we was like, oh shit. And like we felt like a little selfish like at the time, like, all these people and shit. And then we were like, nah. So then America got like, they started doing like, don't let this deter you. Go back to sports, do what you love, show strength in the nation. Don't let these people make you stay inside your house. Don't be a victim to them. 'Cause that's what they want. Let's show them that we're still gonna move on. We're not gonna be victims. And that's what America decided to do. America dusted itself off, got up, and we started going back to the way everything was. And then the fight, there was announced, boom, and we was like, yo, we going. And we went out there and fucking Trinidad lost, man. Yo, there was so many Spanish flags, like down to the side. We was coming out of that. Yo, It was yeah, it was a bad night. I was like, wow. It was a quiet ride home, I can tell you that much. You know, we had to go home and invent our own fun and shit. You know, ah, yeah. But yo, that's how it is. That's how fights be, man. You know what I mean? You live in Jersey, you would definitely buy tickets for that fight. I'm born in Newark, New Jersey. I was born in Newark. And like when I was like 13 and shit, my mom brought us out to Massachusetts for a better life. That's a joke. Damn, she fucked up, bro. Yo, so that's why if you hear like that little Jersey, and then you're like, but it sounds like it, but it's a little off. I get it all the time. My man's. That's why I made most of my friends out here. They like, where you from? I'm like, from Jersey. Hey yo, and as the years kept going on, it went to water in the car. I you gonna get in the car or what? You know what I mean? And then like, yo, so anyway, listen, m- I gotta get my daughter. I've been sitting here chopping it up with you guys. I wasn't even supposed to do this. Listen, I love you guys. You guys are the best. Just saying, Lionheart, my man. Yo, for everybody that's sitting back today on an episode, chopping it up. Look, I gotta go. I'm your host, Edwin. It's pleasure. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you already know what it is. I'm on to the next one after this one. Give the video a like on your way out here on Rod One Sports Talk. Peace. Gotta get my daughter, bro.